and now we're getting Miro versus Bryan Danielson at Full Gear, which is going to be another one of those where it's a diverse type of matchup that we've seen Bryan Danielson in AEW. And I was crossing my fingers that Miro was just going to dismantle Orange Cassidy, break that mousetrap in two, and he pretty much did. It was a pretty dominant performance by Miro.
Even
A
through
couple
the
of those high
commercial
spots
break.
for OC were pretty good. I really enjoyed that table spot, and then OC getting up and giving the thumbs up to Matt Hardy in the crowd. And so I thought that was a pretty comical and cool spot too. A really big spot and almost getting that count out. So almost making it relatively convincing that he could have won that in that form. But Miro, man, he was, shaking those off and throwing OC around pretty aggressively. And it was quite the mismatch in the ring overall. We loved what Miro was doing with his TNT title run. Just
100%.
Fire promos, fire matches in the ring. He was letting people get their spots. He wasn't being selfish in the ring, but then just literally putting them to sleep and just totally whooping them as well. So great replacement, if you could say replacement, great addition to the tournament. And we're going to get a fantastic main event main event of the tournament between Miro and Bryan Danielson on this. But, Danielson was on commentary and he came out to do that face-to-face. Miro shrugged it off. But I want the rise of Miro, man. I want to keep that rise. He deserves it, man. This guy is top of his game, top of his career right now, more than ever.
It definitely, and it fits his story really well, being the Forsaken One, being, losing his TNT title, rather than it breaking his spirit, he, has an anger at God that this happened. And he's got this fire and this commitment that it's his destiny to become a champion again. And, I think for him coming in, I thought that Moxley was the favorite. Me personally, I knew that Bryan Danielson, a lot of fans out there are seeing, Bryan Danielson's, especially his performances in this tournament. Again, performance against Kingston was incredible. But just
chops.
Seeing how he went toe to toe with Kenny already, he's already been presented as one of the top guys in the company, right? So I think a lot of people looked at him as potentially the favorite, but I was looking at Moxley being that guy because I saw Moxley being an opportunity to be that heel to go against potentially Hangman Page as the champ. If Hangman wins this at Full Gear, wins the title, if he wins the World Championship at Full Gear, Miro versus Hangman for that first title defense, to me, it makes the most sense. I would have Miro come in this. I would have Miro come in this tournament, and I would have him wreck OC like he did, and I would have him put on a clinic of a match with Bryan Danielson, and I would have him beat Bryan Danielson.
Wow.
And maybe that's with, outside antics with the elite Adam Cole, maybe something it's, you do a spin-off feud of Bryan Danielson versus somebody in the elite. But even without that, I think that Miro has the momentum, has the ability to be a convincing win over Bryan Danielson without taking the luster off of him. Miro has been presented as one of the most dominant members of the AEW roster for this entire year. Especially since summer. He's been, a guy who's really rounded into form as a guy who's not somebody to mess with. So I don't know. I think that his style in the ring would work really, really well with Hangman. I think two powerhouses, two physical guys. Not to say Bryan Danielson can't make a match work with anybody, but I think that Miro also adds, he can be a first loss he can lose to Hangman without losing credibility. And I think that would only add more motivation to his character. He could be angry at God that, he was thrust into this position without warning and, yada, yada, yada. If he comes up short, he could then recoil and his battle of like where he stands and his glory and his destiny to be a champion and all that stuff, it just becomes more complex and more compelling to me. So I love how they pivoted with this. They turned lemonade, they made lemonade out of lemons in a situation with Moxley. I was really loving where they were going with that, but I think that they quickly were able to pivot, and this Miro is a very compelling storyline in this tournament now.
He is, and the more talking through it, like I think it would be cool. Either way, we're gonna see like a double main event, pretty soon when Hangman wins the title and then his first challenger. It's either Bryan Danielson or Miro, and that's immediate, amazing first matchup if that will be the first one. So it's a win-win for us all. But uh, you know, I said it before. I could totally see the Elite costing Bryan Danielson his road to the belt, and then obviously he's gonna lose the belt again. Kenny Omega is gonna lose the belt, so then that can start breaking away that subside feud as well. So it would make sense for Bryan. I mean, he's got to take a loss eventually, and I don't think his time is now to get that title shot. Yes, he deserves it. He's worked his way up. He's ranked number 4. He's working his way up the ranks, and he's putting on clinics in the ring, so he's earning it. But I think it'll be more fun for us as fans to watch him go toe to toe through the Elite more currently versus chasing the gold.
Agreed.
And Miro with the physicality and stuff, man. Keep pushing him, giving him that spotlight, get him that title shot. Yes, and all in all, we'll have Hangman become victorious, but it would be very compelling because you want to give heat for Miro, and you want to have the rise of stardom for Hangman even more. So if you had Bryan Danielson, who's stardom, they're like neck and neck of who's
as far as popular, yes,
yeah, and fans would appreciate that, and we would love that. But I think it makes more sense to get that story with Miro, and this overall promo and match. This was why he was your top performer of the night.
Wow. Well, I'm pleased to see
your surprised top by mine.
I'm surprised. I'm pleased to see it. My pick was Miro because of him being able to throughout the night. His promo work I thought was really fantastic early in the night.
Yeah.
One of the better promos of the night, and again, great promo work throughout this show. Really not a bad promo with a bunch tonight. When you think about it, great promos across the board tonight. But Miro's promo stood out. He's really this character direction of the Redeemer is really transformed him in AEW to being one of the most must-see acts in the company. Just a lot of fun watching him navigate this and allow this character to sort of come to life. And then for him to come into the tournament, big shoes to fill. Moxley has been an absolute warpath, and has been really. I've been loving Mox's work of late. I think he's been absolutely just brutal in the ring. For Miro to come into that moment, to step into that spotlight, that opportunity, and just absolutely decimate Orange Cassidy the way he did. I know that you were probably grinning ear to ear seeing that. And for him to advance into the world title tournament, to have an opportunity to become the number 1 contender, I loved it. I thought he absolutely killed it tonight. Great night for our man, the Redeemer, Miro.